Hey everybody, getting really excited about spring. I don't know about you guys, but this is, I believe, day 3 of growing my sprouts, which is kind of what I rely on in the winter for my greens. My husband bought me a ton of these last year, and some of them have been very slow, and I don't know if these get old or if it's the cold that we've had this year, but this one's doing good. Some of the tiny ones were taking a while to sprout. And this is me. You'll always find a coffee cup from the day before. Dookie, say hi to the camera. Dookie! He's too busy looking for squirrels and chipmunks. I was talking to my husband and I was like, I don't think I'm on YouTube again. I've been doing it for a year. Which is actually the most I've stuck with anything. Except for jobs, of course. But I'm like, I said I'm just gonna do, like, I'm not gonna change a lot, so everybody's kind of seen already pretty much what I do. He's like, well, you can do different things, but so we'll see. I have not usually, dang it, I forgot my seeds. I don't usually winter garden, so this is just gonna be trial and error right now. I have never done celery, so it's very early to plant this stuff in Georgia. It's gonna get cold again, but it stays pretty warm in my backyard, like in this area. So I'm just kind of going to experiment and see what will live. I'll get you, I'll get you, I'll get you, I'll get you. I love it when he does this. This says 6-inch spacing and 8-inch depth. I'm just gonna do 3 rows. I put a little soil. And then I always do sound effects. Don't ask me why. I'm trying to keep these leaves in here, but they're not too crispy yet. So it's not really working. They need to break down more. I've really been happy with these Seeds of Change. Everything's grown that I've used from that company. Look how tiny the seeds are. My gosh. So just as I say that about the company, there's like hardly any seeds in here. Maybe 20 seeds, and they're teeny tiny, so I couldn't even show you. You wouldn't be able to see the seeds. So I just did 2 rows, and I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence when they're that tiny. They will get lost easy, but we'll see. So I'll just water this. This is really just, I have to plant, and whether it works or not, I don't care. It's just that time of year when you can't do a lot. And I let all my containers catch the rainwater, so that, like right now, my spigots are still capped, so I can't even water. That's another reason I don't like to garden too much. I got it in the winter. I just kind of rely on the rain in my rain barrel. And I'm the type to do several projects all day long, so I do everything in squares. You see how I did a little square? Then I'm going to do this square. I'm going to weed it. And then I don't have any soil at home, so I have to add soil to all these beds. And if I do a little square by square by square, by the time spring gets here, everything's done. And you don't hurt your back. That is the key this year, to not hurt anything. Look how fast the onions start to pop up. I just planted those yesterday. They were already starting, just sitting there. I wish Duke would eat some of my harvest like Tuck did. Poor little Tuck. That's the reason I got Duke, because I saw James Prigioni, probably butchering his name, The New Jersey Gardener. That's one of the first gardening shows I started watching. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that dog. And I never did find out from him because he's so busy. I'm sure there's no way he can answer all those comments. But eventually I figured out that it was a Yorkie that he had. And now I have him. But poor little Tuck, we're going to miss him. I did potatoes in here last year, so that's what I'm doing there. They did really good. Most of these, I have sedums in the little planters, containers. I'm gonna do, these are my dad's marigolds that usually reseed themselves every year, but I keep, of course, more seeds every year. So those will be like never-ending marigolds that he handed down to all his kids, which is awesome. This will be more marigolds in here. These are all strawberries. I did cut some of this bed out this year because strawberries are kind of frustrating because everything eats the critters, the bugs. It's very hard to actually get some strawberries unless you're really, really maintaining with nets and that type of thing. So I put onions right here on the end of that bed. But I'm going to leave the strawberries. I make jam. I usually don't have enough. I just mix them in with store strawberries, whatever I have. And I'm going to see, I think they'll do better in here because they're off the ground. I do have some peas, I believe, coming up here. I don't know if they're going to live, but some green onions. I really love those, like, green onions, but they're hard. Oh, I have crocuses in here. I move stuff all the time, so I'm like, oh, look, that's coming up. I really want to grow the green onions because we eat those like crazy. But I had a hard time growing them for some reason. Look, you guys, I actually am going to try to mark stuff this year. Right now, it's like the garden is just sleeping. And it knows it's not time to wake up yet, so it's just very, very quiet.